Time now for that morning rush. We start with Kristen Curry.
Good morning. Just looking at a mostly to partly sunny sky through the day today. No rain, no snow, but we are going to be fighting the winds. Breezy to windy conditions over central and eastern New Mexico. Red flag warnings in effect for the northeast plains, northeast highlands, and east central New Mexico. Our dry conditions continue tomorrow, but lighter winds expected statewide. Crystal?
Thanks so much, Kristen. As you get ready to head out the door, we're following the day's top local stories. And we start with the State of the Union address, where President Trump ran down a laundry list of first-year accomplishments and laid out a wish list for the year ahead, in particular the economy, with the tax overhaul, while calling on Congress to work with him on plans for a massive infrastructure overhaul. The president is calling for unity, but there's one policy that he mentioned that's still dividing Congress this morning. We'll have more on that coming up in the 5 Facts.
This morning, New Mexico Congress members are responding to President Trump's State of the Union. Senator Tom Udall, a Democrat, agreed with the president about bipartisanship, but says the president has made it difficult to get things done. Republican Representative Steve Pierce says he was happy to hear the president take a step back from the, quote, inflammatory tone he uses in his tweets and was pleased with the overall message. Meanwhile, Representative Michelle Lujan Grisham had strong words about the president's statements on immigration, saying they were divisive. Crystal?
On to new news this morning. Guantanamo Bay, the controversial military prison, will stay open. Just before delivering the address, the president signed an executive order that reverses an Obama administration policy by keeping it open. In 2009, former President Obama signed an order to close the high security prison, but congressional legislation stopped it from happening. 41 prisoners are still housed there today. On to new news this morning. Just over 4 months after Hurricane Maria battered Puerto Rico, and FEMA says they are halting new shipments of food and water to the island. New shipments will stop today. They're still handing out 46 million liters of water and 2 million meals that are still on the island. The island government says they've been blindsided by this decision. Also new this morning, the Hawaii Emergency Management Agency worker who sent out that nuclear warning is now claiming he thought they were under attack. In a recently released report, by the FCC, the worker claims he heard this is not a drill, but did not hear another call saying it was just a training exercise. The FCC chairman says the state did not have a plan to prevent the error or a plan of action. On to News New at 6. This morning, the family of Glee star Mark Salling is mourning his death. The 35-year-old played Noah Puckerman on the show throughout its 6 seasons. In December, Salling pleaded guilty to child pornography. He was due to be sentenced in March to as much as 7 years in prison. The LA County Coroner's Office says Salling's death is being investigated as a suicide. David.
The Super Blue Blood Moon event has reached its maximum eclipse just before 6:30 this morning. And of course, this trifecta lunar event is something that hasn't happened in almost 150 years, actually over just 150 years. Now, this is when the super moon, meaning closest to the Earth, and the lunar eclipse and the red appearance all happen at once. The best vantage point to see everything was in the western half of the U.S. Everything began just before 5 a.m. here in New Mexico and will completely end just after 7. The next time this will happen won't be until 2037. Kristen?
Today's Metro Threat Index at a 3, looking at breezy conditions at times today. Those winds out of the west 10 to 20 miles per hour. Cold temperatures out there now, but nice and mild later today with highs in the low to mid 60s. Sarah.
This morning, new numbers show that more families are starting to flock to northern New Mexico to buy vacation homes. The Moreno Valley has seen a big boom in real estate sales. One realtor says in 2016, their realty sold $13 million more in sales than it did in 2015. That the total number of closed properties was up 20% over the 2 years. Some think that's because people are realizing that these southern Rocky Mountain communities offer the same views as their counterparts in Colorado, but at a more affordable price. They're even starting to see more New Mexico buyers. Kristen.
Time now for a check on your Wednesday morning commute. No crashes or accidents out there. We do have a little bit of congestion I-40 eastbound right as you approach the 4th Street exit, but everything else seems to be moving at posted speeds.
Happening today, it's Veterans Day at the Roundhouse. There will be a ceremony at noon honoring active duty military members and veterans. This year, there will be a special focus on the 50th anniversary of the Vietnam War. They will also celebrate the 50th anniversary of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial in Angel Fire, the first Vietnam Veterans Memorial in the nation. Also new at 6, a museum honoring Navajo code talkers is one step closer to being built. The Santa Fe, New Mexican reports State Senator John Pinto, a code talker himself, introduced legislation. The bill asks the legislature for $1 million to build the museum and Veterans Center in New Mexico near the Arizona border. The bill now goes to the Senate Finance Committee. Also take a look at this new video just into our newsroom. It's the first of its kind for the Super Bowl. To continue in the spirit of cold festivities, the Super Bowl had its first ever polar plunge. You can see people there just braving the freezing temperatures to jump into a pool at the site of Super Live. They do this to help raise money for the Special Olympics, not just because they want something fun to do. I don't know. That's one of the many charities the NFL is paired up with.
Even a belly flop into the water.
Yeah.
Extra points there.
I don't know about that.
That's
just too cold. All right, time for the 5 facts.
We will start with number 5 this morning. An Albuquerque man is thanking a complete stranger after reuniting him with his prized possession, his wedding ring. While jogging last November at a northeast Albuquerque park, Peter Livingston's wedding ring flew off. He started searching for it, but no luck. Soon strangers came to help, including a woman who continued looking for it every day on her walk since it happened. He had no idea she was still searching until months later she found it.
Wow, needle in the haystack, huh? How cool is that? Number 4, the Attorney General's office is asking victims of New Mexico's recent Equifax breach to contact his office. AG Hector Paldera says he wants to make sure New Mexicans are being given consistent, legal, and helpful responses by Equifax. Millions of Americans had their personal information possibly compromised by that cyber attack. Today is also the last day to sign up for free credit monitoring through Equifax. Find details on our website.
At number 3, temperatures nice and comfy today. Low to mid 60s here in the valley. We are talking breezy to windy conditions, though. Those winds really cranking out over the east. We have red flag warnings for fire concerns over northeast and east central New Mexico. The warm temperatures and the mostly to partly sunny skies continue for the next few days.
Number 2 now. Police are investigating a social media post warning students at 2 metro high schools to look out for any signs of a potential school shooting. This comes a week after a massive fight broke out at Volcano Vista High after their basketball team beat Cibola. Both schools canceled their winter games for student safety. Now Volcano Vista's principal says a post on social media warned students at both schools to be vigilant when it comes to school shootings. APS and police say they don't consider it a threat. They are still looking into it, though. Number 1, this morning, a lot of people still talking about the president's State of the Union address, where he called for unity and laid out his plan for the coming years. The president touched on job creation, stock market gains, and what he calls historic tax cuts. He also spoke about a policy that could force another government shutdown, though, come next week. We're talking about immigration. As expected, President Trump called to build his controversial border wall and put an end to visa lotteries and family-based immigration. In exchange, he's offering a path to citizenship for 1.8 million illegal immigrants brought here as children, also known as dreamers. Both sides, they don't necessarily agree on that issue, but they did agree on Trump's call for a $1.5 trillion infrastructure spending plan. If you want to see more on the president's speech, go to our website. That's KRQE.com.